Blenders are more than just appliances. They're helpers that can save us time and open doors to things we might not even try otherwise. Whether that's morning green juice, a creamy soup for dinner, or frozen drinks when friends come over. And when we talk about blenders, two names come up: Vitamix and Ninja. Both brands have earned trust, both make strong claims, and yet they serve us in very different ways. So today, let's settle into the kitchen and talk about what these blenders actually mean for your kitchen. Once you bring a blender home, the first thing you notice isn't the power, it's how it's built. And we are going with Vitamix first. The impression here is like it was built for professional kitchens, but made its way into our homes because people wanted that same level of reliability. When you pick up one of their blenders, you can sense the weight of it, the sturdiness, the way the jar locks down. The blades are not razor sharp like you might expect. They're blunt, thick, and designed to rely on motor strength rather than sharpness. That's why Vitamix can run for years without dulling, and why the company has no problem offering warranties that stretch 7 to 10 years. It's the kind of machine that seems made to be used every single day without wearing out. Ninja, on the other hand, has a completely different personality. When you open one of their boxes, you don't just get a blender. You often get cups with travel lids, food processor bowls, even dough attachments. Their design is about flexibility, and their stacked blade system looks sharp because it is sharp. Instead of pulling ingredients down into a vortex like Vitamix, Ninja's blades cut through layers as the tower spins. And when you want crushed ice for cocktails or snow cones, you really see why that design works. It's quick, it's aggressive, and it feels like it's made for households that want one tool to cover many bases. Now, let's step into the features and see what makes each blender feel unique when we're cooking. The difference becomes even clearer when you look at how these machines operate day to day. Vitamix loves giving you control with that variable speed dial. You can start on low, add ingredients as you go, and gradually push the speed higher until you're at that silky soup or smoothie level. It almost feels like driving a stick shift. You have precision. You feel connected to the process, and you can stop exactly where you want in terms of texture. Some models, like the Ascent X series, add digital timers and smart jars that the base actually recognizes. That makes it a little friendlier when you're juggling a recipe and don't want to overdo it. Ninja, in contrast, often puts the process on autopilot. Their Auto IQ programs let you hit a button for smoothies, frozen drinks, or even ice cream, and then walk away while the blender does its own sequence of pulses and blends. I can imagine this on a rushed weekday morning. Throw in fruit, yogurt, and some spinach, press one button, and by the time you're rinsing your cutting board, the blender has finished. And newer models, like the Detect Kitchen system with Blend Sense, go one step further by adjusting the speed based on what's inside, whether it's frozen berries or fresh banana. Now, features are nice on paper, but the question is, how do they hold up when we actually cook? Well, let's get into it. Suppose you're making a roasted carrot and ginger soup on a cold evening. With Vitamix, you could pour the hot broth and roasted carrots straight into the jar, blend it on high, and a few minutes later, you'd have steaming, velvety soup, no pot on the stove needed. That's thanks to the vented lid design and the way the blades generate heat through friction. Ninja, meanwhile, isn't built to handle hot soup in quite the same way, so you'd likely have to cook it on the stove first and then blend in smaller batches once it cools slightly. But flip the scenario, it's summer and you're making frozen margaritas for friends. You dump in ice, lime, tequila, hit the Ninja's frozen drink button, and within seconds, you've got that perfect snow-like texture that feels straight out of a beach bar. Vitamix can crush ice too, but Ninja's stacked blade system is almost made for this. It pulverizes cubes in one go without needing a tamper. And speaking of tamper, that's another place Vitamix shines in usability. When you're making something thick like peanut butter or an acai bowl, the tamper lets you push ingredients down while blending, which keeps things moving. Ninja doesn't usually include one, so thicker recipes may involve stopping and scraping the sides a few times. It's not a deal breaker, but you feel the difference when you make nut butter once and then twice. When you start looking at actual models, the comparison feels a bit like choosing between personalities. Take the Vitamix 5200. It has that big 64-ounce jar, simple variable speed dial, and enough motor power to handle anything from smoothies to hot soups. It sits around the $500 mark, which is a serious investment, but it is still one of the most respected blenders in home kitchens and professional kitchens alike. Now place it beside Ninja's Professional Plus DUO, which brings a 1400-watt motor, Auto IQ presets, and even 2 personal cups for on-the-go smoothies, all at less than half the price. For a family that makes a lot of morning smoothies and frozen drinks, Ninja feels like the practical pick. But if you're blending daily and want one machine to stay with you for years, the Vitamix still has a kind of endurance that's hard to match. Move up a notch, and you find Vitamix's Ascent series with smart containers and pre-programmed settings. It's sleek, modern, and more user-friendly, often priced within $400 to $600. Ninja responds with their Foodie Power Blender Ultimate System, which doesn't just blend, but chops, processes, and even kneads dough. That makes it more like a kitchen system than a simple blender, so if you want one appliance to replace several, it's compelling. Vitamix, though, stays focused. It gives you one job done perfectly, while Ninja spreads itself across tasks. Even in portability, both play the game differently. Vitamix offers its Immersion Blender, a handheld stick you can use directly in pots, ideal for whipping cream or pureeing soup without moving it to another container. Ninja goes in the opposite direction with their Blast Portable Blender, a cordless cup-sized machine you can carry in a bag for smoothies anywhere. One is about professional strength in your saucepan, the other about convenience when you're away from the kitchen. Every feature has a price, so let's talk about what you actually pay for these machines. Now, Vitamix is expensive, no doubt about it. Even the starter Explorian series runs close to $380, and higher models go well past $500. But the way people see it is simple. It might be the last blender you ever buy. With warranties that can last 10 years and motors that rarely give out, Vitamix feels more like a long-term partner than a gadget. Ninja, however, makes high performance more accessible. You can find capable models between $100 and $250, and even the premium foodie systems often stay under $400. That lower entry cost makes it easier for people to try blending at home without committing to a machine that costs as much as a small appliance set. The trade-off is that warranties are shorter, usually a year, and the construction relies more on plastic. But if you're the type who likes upgrading appliances every few years, that might not be a bad thing. So which brand makes the better blender? The answer isn't one size fits all. If you're serious about blending, if you want perfectly smooth green drinks, or if you're cooking soups and nut butters regularly, a Vitamix is hard to beat. It is about precision, durability, and texture that feels professional every time. But if your kitchen life is about variety, smoothies in the morning, crushed ice at night, dough on the weekend, Ninja may suit you better. It brings versatility, convenience, and affordability, all in one package. In the end, Vitamix is like that reliable cast iron pan, built to last and always ready for the heavy jobs. Ninja is more like a multi-cooker, flexible, approachable, and perfect when you want more tasks covered by one appliance. And the right choice is simply the one that fits how you cook, how often you blend, and what kind of kitchen story you want to tell. That was all. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you found it helpful, give it a like, and subscribe for more kitchen gadget news and reviews.